And everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. Now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and welcome to Hall Around Town Radio. It's Backstage Hall Pass Hot Topic Tuesday, and welcome to the program. I'm Scott Hall, your host, along with my lovely co-host, the lovely Karis, who's in the house today, and I'll bring her in momentarily while I bring everybody else in, too. I'm struggling. I'm sorry to bring you in, Karis.
What about me?
There you are.
Here I am.
Say hi to everybody, Karis.
Hi, everybody. Scott wanted to leave me out for tonight, but I was like, no, guys.
Yeah,
no.
After last week, you betcha. All right. There's our guest, Cevin West, Toy-nado from Rockstar, and the lovely Miss Jackie and Baby. Yes.
Congratulations.
The bump.
I realized I was setting my hands on my belly when the camera zoomed in on me. I was like, oh, wow.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. Welcome to the program, guys. You all were kind of part of last week and seeing what we did with last week's show, talking about stage presence and how you do all that fun stuff. We had a great discussion last week about it. There were a lot of people who chimed in and a lot of people who had strong opinions on whether there should be stage presence. And it was interesting because a majority of the musicians who were on said, I can do without stage presence. Just give me a great singer and a great artist. But many of the musical fans leaned the other way. So they wanted to see a stage show along with a good performance and good vocals and so on. So let's kick it off today. Karis, you want to say something already? You're already pointing at me.
I don't think stage presence and stage show are the same thing.
And we are 1 minute in, and she started arguing with me already.
Well, it's true, though. I thought we figured that out last week. I think stage presence and stage show are different things.
Anything else?
No,
Anything
you can
else?
go now. You can go now.
Thank you, boss.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be so much fun. Well, I'm gonna do something interesting here. I'm going to start with Cevin West, who I have seen play for years and years. Cevin West started as this guy sitting on a stool looking at his feet, not looking at the audience. In fact, he looked at times to be a little bit scared on stage. And then he became this international recording artist and superstar that he is, Cevin West. So, Cevin, tell us how you developed your stage presence and when you realized you had to have a little bit of that, or stage show, whatever we're going to call it today.
They're two different things.
Oh my God. You come on here just to argue with me.
Well, don't say the wrong thing and then I won't argue.
I'm getting out of here. I'm gone. You guys have fun with it, all right? I have no voice anyway. Cevin, started out, my friend.
Well, I mean, my story's a little different. I mean, I did that look at the feet stuff for a long time, and then I finally had an uncle who, was very supportive of me and watched my for a long time. And, one night he was like, man, you gotta figure something out because it's just not working. And I was like, yeah, you're right, because I'm just not having a good time. So, and I know if I'm not having a good time, nobody else is having a good time. So I had to find a way. I got together with a bunch of other local musicians. I was like, man, what do you guys do? I kind of piggybacked off that a little bit, kind of just, fell into where I fit, and it just kind of worked out that way. So.
Well, and it has, and it's worked out for you. And we were talking before the show, country is a different genre for show than rock or any of that is, because it's interesting from the part of, I guess from the standpoint of, you look at big country stars like Garth Brooks, and I went to his show this year, big stadium tour, all that. There were many times throughout the show that it was an incredible stage show, and other times where it was just a laid back guy with a guitar standing at a microphone, and people love both sides of it. So that's a little different in the country genre. But then you go to the extremes, and I'm going to bump down to Jackie for a minute. Miss Jackie, who is well known for her stage show and presence and everything else throughout the Cincinnati area. Tell us a little bit about that. Why do you choose to be so, and there's no term for it, it's just rocking, I guess, is what I'm going to say. Why did you choose to go that route?
Well, I guess the best way to describe it would be like a mad person on stage. And really because it's one of my favorite things to do. So I get a little bit manic when I'm on stage. But also I have this background of cheer and theater and rock band and marching band and all these other things where it was like you have to think about the people who are watching you and you're there to entertain them. And being, a professional musician, you're kind of blessed to have people come to your show. And I like to keep them there just by, being a crazy person, put myself out there.
Well, I got to go back to, and I mentioned it a lot on the show. I've got to go back to this, and Karis, jump in here on this one too, because you saw it at the Women Who Rock benefit. You on the stage, sporting that baby bump, singing "Killing in the Name."
Bad choice.
All right, singing "Killing in the Name," and absolutely blowing the roof off the entire plaza, not just the building we were in, but the whole plaza. Karis, what do you got on that one? That was a show of like none other.
Oh, I love it. I'm Miss Jackie's biggest fan. So whatever she does on stage is pretty much usually kills it. I don't care if she's got a baby belly or whatever.
It's a sign of dominance.
Yeah, I also
your baby bump.
Yeah, I also think that Miss Jackie's stage presence comes naturally, as I think most stage presence comes naturally. I think stage shows are put on, and stage presence is a natural thing, which can grow over time and over experience and comfort. But that's a natural thing, in my opinion. The show is something that can be put on.
Thanks for that comment, Rick. Okay, so yeah, this you can put a show on. You're right, but stage presence, Karis, your opinion is it comes naturally. People don't develop it; they just have it.
No, I literally just said it can come over time, from confidence and experience.
Before you yell at me, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Well,
it's
then listen harder.
Out. Jesus. I did this show with Karis because I wanted to be absolutely humiliated and taken down every day. That's just what my life is all about.
Well, congratulations.
Toy.
Yes. Stress is bad for
Tell us about yours.
Actually, I tell you what, it goes back to growing up and looking at a Kiss album and going, that someday is what I want to do. Now, I've been in other bands. And I haven't been in a band like this until this was back in March when I joined. And I'm kind of like, okay, we'll see how it works. But you know what? I'm having a blast doing this. I'm playing cool music. I'm entertaining people. And it actually goes back to my mom was actually a dance instructor, had a dance studio, had a competition. So growing up, I kind of watched how she taught people how to work the stage, how to use the stage for stage presence, and actually try to put on a show with it. So you kind of take that and kind of mold it into when you go play music. Try to have the best stage presence you can do, put on the best show, because you got to play. I'll agree with Karis, what she said last week about having great music and great songs first, but you got to have the whole package. And I think you owe it to the people coming out and seeing you, and they're paying a cover charge. You owe them a good show. You owe the bar owner, you owe the venue owner a good show. It's not just the songs, but it's the whole package. It's seeing live music. It's not just hearing it, it's seeing it. That's just my take on it.
Okay, so when you started out, Jackie, did you have the same kind of stage presence in the beginning that you have today, or have you developed that? I mean, has that been a learned experience, or was it just kind of came natural to you?
I would say I probably have always been really comfortable on stage. but it definitely did not start out like this. There's some really cringy videos of me when I very first started. And you could probably look it up. It's on my mom's YouTube channel. Please do not, though. It's really bad. But like, I started in theater when I was in 5th and 6th grade. So like them telling you like how to get over those jitters and things like that, like you transform into a different person or a different version of yourself. And you do the job, you know.
Gotcha. Cevin, how about you, man? You said it, you've changed. I've seen you change. What sparked that? You said it wasn't working. What's that mean?
Well, I hadn't really found, who I was as an artist yet, and I don't think I really know who I am as an artist yet still. I don't, I learn different stuff every week, every month. We did a lot of shows here, and I had a lot of time to try to hone that craft, and figure out, what is going to keep this demographic of people that, come to see this country show around for, 3.5 hour, 4 hour shows, see this country show band and acoustically, acoustically is more intimate. You have, more avenues to talk to people, make conversation versus full band show, trying to, it is necessarily, it goes hand in hand. You're trying to, assert that you're comfortable and know what you're doing and also put on a show. So, there's just so many different parts that go into trying to fit everything in the puzzle right. I don't think I'll ever have it figured out.
I hear you, man. Karis, take it.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
God.
I love you.
No, I'm agreeing with what everyone's saying. But I go back to, what do you want me to say? I think stage presence comes naturally. I think music is just as important. You can't be, I don't know what you want to say. I've said it a million times. Now you're getting mad at me because I'm not talking enough.
I think it comes back to comfortability too.
It's all comfortability. Yeah.
It does. Yep.
Sense within a few seconds if somebody's not, not really comfortable with what they're doing, or, they're holding back a little bit. You can feel that, right off the go.
I agree.
Okay. Toy. Chat about the costuming. Why did you choose costuming?
Well, actually, I didn't. So when I got in this band, they started doing it. They told me when I joined, they said, we did this for Halloween one year. And they said, and people, they loved it. They freaked out. They thought it was the greatest thing. And I'm like, okay. So, and then with the name and a logo, it's like, I think you kind of know what you're getting. So you don't really have to dress up, but I think with what we're doing, it works. And there's other bands that are doing it and it works, but you got to do it in your own way. And for me too, I'm having fun with it because I get to pretend to be somebody else on stage. And at the same time, hopefully people are entertained. So, and the thing is, I want to make them forget about their problems and their bad day they had for about 3 or 4 hours. They can come to a show and have a good time and forget about that for a while. And that's kind of the goal of entertaining. I think that's just probably the best way to explain it.
All right. So this whole discussion started with some folks who we kind of morphed out of a show where we talked about the set lists and how you can fall flat if you start out with some slow songs and all that. And then it morphed into this stage presence and stage show versus each other or whatever. So somebody take the ball here and talk about, the importance to the folks that come to see you. And those that know me know I don't like to use the word fans. Your friends, the people who follow you, whatever you want to call them, who come to your shows. What is the importance to you being on your game every single night you hit that stage and doing what it is a production, it really is. And people that come to see you routinely know your production. So if you have an off night, does that affect you too? I want to know that as well.
I think every band has a Spinal Tap moment. Every band has a Spinal Tap show. Something goes wrong.
Spinal Tap.
There's always, you go back to Spinal Tap. You can have you can have the best shows, but there's always going to be something at one night where you're going to have a Spinal Tap moment. Something breaks, something falls. You break a string, your guitars are out of tune. All of a sudden, I've had nights where I've been singing, and all of a sudden my voice just goes, and there's nothing coming out. And the next song you're okay. It's just there's always that's why they call it live music. It's never going to be perfect, but I think that's where the show comes in, the stage presence comes in, and where that energy. If you hit a wrong note, hit it again, because then that way people meant they think you meant to hit it.
I'm reading a comment here from Danielle that said Miss Jackie played their first prom, Talawanda 2022, and it was amazing. A completely different kind of audience than what they usually have, but the kids loved them and had a blast. Tell me about that one, Miss Jackie.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, like I probably should have been jailed for this. I as most of you know, if you've ever seen my show, I'm pretty raunchy. Like I make fun of myself. I'm a bad, like I say some potty words, so it was totally different for me to get on stage in front of all of these teenagers. And like, there's that fine line of like, you want to impress these kids, but you don't want to go to jail. So like one of the first things I think I did where I kind of won these kids over is I think I was playing Body by Megan Thee Stallion. I wasn't playing it, but I was DJing in between our set, and I got on stage and I started twerking. And this was before I was pregnant. So, I mean, like, it wasn't that bad, but like, yes, they absolutely ate it up. They loved it. And like it all, yeah. Danielle, she's like the twerking. Yeah, absolutely.
You made those kids' day. I know you did. They probably had the best time.
I loved them. They were so unbelievably beautiful. Like just being able to interact with them and like knowing who were my people, like seeing like the kind of misfits over here jamming to the more like alternative stuff where you got your like popular kids with the pop music. And it's funny to like kind of put yourself in their shoes because I was 28 at the time. So these were, 10 years younger than me. So how do I relate to these kids? It just happens, man.
And you think they had meetings about the prom afterwards? Talked about that, some sort of administrative meetings or something?
So funny story about that. I actually have a pretty adult Instagram. So I was getting these 18-year-old followers on Instagram, and I had to shut my Instagram down because I didn't want them to see all of my stuff that's on my Instagram. So that was also wow, great job, Jackie. You're doing a great job.
That's funny. So where are we going with this, Karis? Help me out here, because I know we've kind of beat this horse to death, but we've got three great people on here from three totally different type of shows. I mean, Miss Jackie's the Hard Driving Rock Show. Obviously, Rockstar is your 80s, and I don't want to call it a tribute show, but it takes you back to the 80s. It's a travel back in time type show. And then we've got Cevin, who's out there playing a lot of 90s country. So he's going back in time a little bit. And, he might just be kicking his heel and moving his boot and doing that thing. And that just is all his audience wants. So my real focus on this was to try to rein in where you guys pick up that vibe from. Where do you get that energy? And, does each night change? Do you try to do the same show every night? Or at least, I hate to say the same thing because it's never the same, but you know what I mean. Do you guys try to give them the same powerful atmosphere every time they come out, or is each night different for you? Somebody take it. Just jump in there, man.
I think we try to give it 110%, because, I mean, I don't want to shortchange the audience. They're coming to see us. So if they're coming to see us, I got to give them the best that I can, because if they're paying a cover charge, they deserve it. They deserve to see live music and give them the best that I can give, or best the band can give. I mean, I don't want to shortchange them, and I don't want to shortchange the venue owners either if they're hiring us.
Jay Clark, you're
I'm
killing
sorry. I shouldn't even mention it. I'm gonna get 10 new followers today. Like,
We don't even have, do we have that many
Troy,
watching?
can I ask Troy a question?
Sure,
Troy,
go right ahead.
when you keep saying, you're getting paid and you don't want, the venue owners, these people, you got to put on this show because this is what everybody wants. I've never seen you live, but I know that I've seen Seven West live and I've seen Miss Jackie live, and they have stage presence, and Seven West doesn't put on a show. It's just his stage presence and his music that is the show. Miss Jackie, personally speaking, I understand that it looks like a show, but I actually kind of think that's just her. When she's on stage, that's actually what she's feeling, and that's what she's putting out there. To me, that's not a show. That's literally the definition of stage presence, because it's coming from within and it's her emotion. So when you keep saying that, you want to make sure you make it worth it because people are paying a cover. If I'm paying a cover, and this is no disrespect, because like I said, I've never actually seen you live, but I'd rather see like the Seven West where it's stage presence because it's coming from emotion and his beautiful voice. The same with Miss Jackie, than like a show. So are you are you guys like both? Do you have that stage presence and a show, or are you all show?
No, it's not all show. I think
It's not all show.
I think that the costume, of course, that's all the show. But the stage presence, I mean, if we were dressed like this for the show and we were just standing there, then it doesn't work.
Not at all.
Right. It's got to be like a soup. It's got to be all the ingredients have got to work, because if we can't play our instruments to play this stuff, then it doesn't work. Then it is. It's going to be ridiculous to where we're standing there in a wig, standing there looking like we're in the 80s. But if we don't sound good, because I'm going to agree with something you said last week. I think the music is first, because you have to sound good first, and then everything else comes behind it, and you've got to put everything together. And especially with what we're doing, with the theme we're doing and stuff like that. So it's got to all come together. It's got to be the stage presence. It's got to be a show. It's got to be the right songs. Everybody's got to play good. You got to sound good. Sounding good is probably the most important thing. And then everything else is kind of like the cake on the, it's the icing on the cake. That's everything. That's the dressing up. And the thing is, not every band has to dress up. No. It's just whatever works for you, whatever your band is doing, whatever works for you, do it. This works for us. It's not going to work for everybody, but I do think, though, first off, I will agree with you on the music is first and the songs are most important too. Everything else is glitter.
Do you agree? Do you guys agree, though? There are bands out there who are not, and I don't want to offend anybody, but they're not the best musicians in the world, but their show brings people to the yard. Okay.
Some of my favorite bands that I book are like that.
And they don't really dwell on the musicianship or the perfecting every note or whatever. If they miss a chord, they miss a chord, whatever. They're there. They're a party band, man. They're a party band.
The fun is in watching them having fun doing what they love to do, I think. And that's irreplaceable, in my opinion. If you're watching somebody who's not having fun playing music, like, why are you a musician, kind of thing.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're not having fun on stage, they're not having fun in the audience. And I can tell you that much. Yeah.
And you date yourself. If you follow any music, like back in the 70s, Tiny Tim couldn't sing anything. He would fill arenas, Weird Al Yankovic and those kind of things. I mean, there are gimmick shows out there.
Weird Al. I love me some Weird Al.
I'm not dogging on him. I'm just saying, it's one of those novelty acts, so to speak. And there are novelty acts out there. Now, I 100% agree with Karis, and people will probably fall over dead in their chair that I said that, but I 100% agree with her that Miss Jackie, you bring it from the soul. You have that incredible knack of showing your emotion on stage, and that's why people follow you, I believe. I mean, your vocals are great, your musicianship, your band's great, but you have that. You bring it from the toes, man. You bring it up and everybody knows it. I mean, it is your soul. It's not just a show, and you're not putting on an act every night.
So I will say that 90% of the time I'm pretty like happy-go-lucky. Like I'm just super pumped to be there. But there are those nights where like say I'm not feeling good or I just got into a fight with my bass player who happens to be my husband. Like I'm not feeling it, you know, but it's one of those things. And that's where the show aspect, I guess, does come in. You have to transform into the persona that is Miss Jackie. Me and Miss Jackie are almost two different people. We're very close to being the same person, but Miss Jackie knows no fears. Miss Jackie has no problems. Miss Jackie, you know, she is there to entertain you. And and she's in the moment. Yeah, like Ed said, like she's in the moment. She's feeling it with you. And not only that, but like most of the time I'm like throwing it back to the audience, because if I can feel that energy back from it fuels me. It's like a fire. It's incredible. It's like the best drug out there.
All right, Cevin, you've been kind of quiet up there. Chime in, buddy.
I'm just taking it all in. I agree. You know, I mean, because you know, every night we try to, you know, keep it new for ourselves. Really, I mean, because you know, we found out that, you know, once you run through the same set list about you know, 5 nights in a row, it gets a little stale for you too. So I can only imagine how, you know, somebody that came out, you know, 3 nights in a row, man, you know, be nice to change it up a little bit. But I always use the term of, you know, I could stand all night and I could torch somebody to move, you know, and just stand there and it works. And there's nights that, you know, I'm all over the. So I mean, I mean, Jason can attest to that. Of, you know, there's something that comes out of me that is, it like Miss Jackie said, it's like a fire that gets fueled when you can feel it coming off the crowd. It turns you into a whole different beast of just, you know, it just takes it off in a whole different direction. I can't explain.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Cevin. And that's good insight. I mean, you know, you have taken it all kinds of new directions. And I love what Danielle just said on the screen here. She threw a great analogy up there. And you do have to sell it. So many times we go see musicians and we're in a place and they're just, unfortunately, some of them not selling it.
Yeah.
They're sitting on a bar stool. Maybe they've had a bad day. I get it. You have a bad day once in a while, but if that's your MO most of the time, then it's probably not going to work real well for you, because as Karis has talked about, that's when people get up and go somewhere else, and that hurts the venue owner. And thank you for that comment, Danielle. That's awesome. So what else we got to talk about today on this topic, guys, as we wind down the, as we call it, stage presence, stage show. What do you got? Anybody else have anything? Awfully quiet.
The costumes that Rockstar, like, you guys put together, like, they're super cool. Like, I think it's dressing to impress is part of your stage presence too. Like, if you're not in your battle suit, like, what are you doing? I'm trying to explain this to my one drummer. No offense, Kyle. Love you, dude. You're awesome. But he'll be showing up in like cargo shorts and a BT Bam shirt. And I'm like, stop it. Like, show up nice. Like,
right. The words of John Lee Hooker. John Lee Hooker quoted, he said, always dress better than your audience.
That is so true.
Yep.
But not necessarily in a crop top, like covered in butterflies at like 6 months pregnant. That's not the move.
Thank you, Dave Shores.
I had to kind of kick my brother-in-law in the rear for a long time, because, you know, he would show up to, you know, some of these shows wearing swim trunks and flip-flops.
Oh, dear Lord.
Or he shows up looking like a muskrat trapper.
No sandals
most nights.
stage.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work. But I
love you, Rambo.
if you find that somebody's going to remember you by, like, you know, Jason and I, it just so happened that, you know, we went sleeveless all summer long, and that just kind of worked, you know, so everybody kind of remembered, oh, those are the guys that don't wear sleeves, you know.
I love it.
So, I mean, if you can find
it's a look,
a little something to just, you know, make you, I think that'll help you, you know, kind of get some feet as well.
I like that. And we're not dogging on you, Rambo, if you're out there. Anybody named Rambo can dress any way he wants. That's all I got to say about that. But getting some good comments here. Thank you for the comments, guys. If you have any questions for our panel today, please throw them up real quick in the comments. We'll try to get to them. And yes, Miss Jackie, you inspired TJ's look for his favorite musician on Halloween. I was there to witness that. That was priceless. It was. It was perfect. I love that. So as we're reading through the comments and looking at you guys are making some great comments today. Thank you for that. And I think we've summed this thing up that it looks like everybody's consensus of opinion is stage presence is something you have basically and have developed over time. And stage show is a show. That's what it's called. And it's how you put it on and what you do, how you dress the part or whatever you want to do. And a lot of people use the terms interchangeably, and apparently they are not used interchangeably. They are used differently. And, you know, stage presence can be somebody just standing up there with a guitar and commanding an arena full of people. I mean, you look at the popularity of some of our country artists today that are out there, and those guys, you know, they're playing 50, 100,000 seat venues, and they step up to a mic with a spotlight on them and they command the entire room. And all it takes is one chord on the guitar and they do it. So there's a whole lot of different audiences out there. I think a whole lot of people want to see a show. A lot of people want to see a show, and the stage presence is the icing on the cake with that. Is what we've developed out of at least our listener comments today. And those people out there that aren't musicians. Musicians always turn to it's all about the vibe, the music, the stuff like that. And you know, it is. And then you get that look from Karis. So Karis, you have something to say? Throw it in there.
No, I don't have anything to say. I'm not speaking anymore.
Are you mad now?
Yeah, I'm very mad.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
She's never mind. This is why we do this, folks, right here, just for your entertainment. The Karis and Scott hour or half hour or whatever.
I tell you what, I was scared to death to come on here with you. I was so intimidated.
I'm petrified.
I would be more vocal, but I've been told to zip it.
Oh.
That did not come from me. Don't let people think I told you that.
I was expecting this to be like Rocky versus Apollo Creed.
Well, I will say that I disagree with one thing that Scott said. I personally think you should have the stage presence and then the show comes later.
Okay.
Personally.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Music and the song
and stage presence. Yeah.
Yes. I agree with that totally. 100%.
Everybody's going to agree with you anyway, because you book them. So I just sit back in the corner. Yeah.
She pays us.
She does, and everybody's gonna. Besides that, they're all scared of her ass. I'd be scared of her.
She's cute as hell too.
She's gonna beat me up someday. That's why I try to stay away from her. All right, what else we got here? Anything else before we go today? We're running out of time, guys. We are. I hate to do that because you guys have been a great group to have on. And
I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Oh, is this the last time?
No.
Are you done? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I knew I couldn't get out of it that easy. Jackie, when's that baby due?
January 14th. So we're good for Saturday.
Congratulations.
Crossing my legs too. So
keep that baby in there, girl.
Last show this Saturday. So excited for Karis, you know.
Shameless plug. Get it in. It's going to be a great night Saturday night.
It'll be a great night, yeah.
With Lita Ford. And you know, you're opening the show, Lita Ford closing the show that night at the Bell and the Bear.
So excited. Totally gonna fangirl out. It's gonna happen.
What's your problem, awesome. Charles Schlabick? This guy's got a problem with me.
What did he say?
Charles, know that there are other venues, not just one, no matter how popular they are.
Is that why you're pissed? Because his comments?
No, I just saw that, but I've been reading them. He doesn't like me very much.
Well, hell, neither do I, but we're friends here on the Book of Face, so we are. So, Jackie, you'll be playing. You're going to do your crazy show and fantastic rock show before Lita Ford.
Outfit I've worn all year. I'm so excited about it. Yes, the battle suit, man.
Karis, there's still a few tickets left for that, right? But at the door, is that correct?
Maybe? Yeah, like there's a few. Yeah, there's a few.
I know, I'm upset. I can't. I got to play and I can't come. I'm like, I'm so excited.
It really
Yeah,
is
it's
an
good.
honor, and Karis takes such good care of me.
Oh,
And-
well, I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, babe. But like she told me, if you go into labor, like it's okay, like I got you covered. So I was like, thanks. But just know that if I do have a baby on stage, I'm charging you double.
Oh, it'll go viral.
Now,
Her
that
bar
would
will be
great,
viral.
A great show and great stage presence.
Yes.
Yes.
There's some that's
Yes.
both. You're right.
Yeah.
And if the little one comes out singing "Killing in the Name," I know that worked.
If the
That
little
worked.
one's not a puppy, I'm not paying you at all.
Toy, where are you playing New Year's Eve?
We are at a place called Tiffany's Saloon in Aurora. It's a really old saloon. It's really cool venue. It's right downtown in the heart of old Aurora. It's a really
Right.
cool place.
Nice.
And still tickets available for that one?
Actually,
Dewey.
there's
Sold out
no tickets. It's open.
Okay.
Dewey, there's a few bands that have gotten better over time. Dewey asked a question. I wanted to respond it.
Oh, okay.
There's a few,
Yes.
quite a few. Yeah.
Better over time. Absolutely.
I also think
Cevin.
the more comfortable a band is with the owner, the person booking, the more comfortable they are anyways to just be themselves on stage, which I think helps because it's more of like a family and a friendship vibe. You know, it's business, but also that helps them feel at ease.
John
Absolutely.
Barry says Bethesda's close to the bell. So if you need that, Miss Jackie, you can cruise right over there and have the baby. Cevin, what do you got New Year's Eve, buddy?
My 3 children, we are off New Year's Eve this year.
Oh,
That's awesome, Cevin.
that'll be fun.
Not a bad thing.
I've kind of refrained from New Year's Eve since a few years back. I did 2 shows on New Year's Eve one year, and that was enough to do me in. So our last show of the year is Thursday at Trillions in Sharonville.
Well, thank you
Very
for that.
nice.
I appreciate it.
Good place.
All right,
Cool
guys. I think we're out of time. Are we out of time, Karis?
That's up to you, Boo Bear.
Well, I want to thank my co-host
Wait,
and
Miss Jackie, where did you put your light? Because I don't know where to put these stupid ring lights.
I put it in the front, and I've
Okay.
actually got the ring light that holds my camera.
Okay.
Is that
Okay.
yeah?
I
But
don't know where to
y'all
put
my
them.
acne though.
Look,
Karis, I'm coming over to fix your ring lighting.
I'm not good at
situation.
this stage stuff.
I
so
will. I'll come over and fix that.
Thank
Stage
you.
presence,
We'll make
stage
it right.
presence.
I think you look beautiful.
Thanks.
And just as our disclaimer, as we do every time on this show, the opinions on this show are not necessarily reflective of the owners of this station. Well,
Thanks,
maybe
guys,
they
for
are.
the compliments.
Maybe they are. Yes. We appreciate all the compliments coming in. And I want to thank Karis, my co-host. And really, truly, guys, we do like each other. We play it on
We
the
love
show
each
pretty
other.
well, but we
This
do.
is for fun.
And,
This is stage presence.
I have no stage
Absolutely.
presence. I have a face for radio. That's what I've got. Miss
Hey.
Jackie, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you real soon and watching you rock out again. Good luck with the baby stuff.
Oh yeah.
And Cevin, thank you always, my friend. I appreciate you being here. And Toy, nice to finally get a chance to chat with you, man.
You too. Thank you.
Good. It's great to have you. Karis, sign us off, babe. You're it.
We'll see you later, alligators. Bye.
All you gotta say?
That's it. What more do you want from me?
I
Never
want
did enough for
everything.
you.
I want you to dance. I want you to dance. Dance us off the air. You've been watching Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass. And this is Hot Topic Tuesday. We'll see you next week. Same time, same channel. Tomorrow, Wednesday with the band. Thursday, Who's Playing Out? Brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio. It's all happening right here. We're out. Say bye, everybody. Say bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you
Bye,
guys.
everybody. Cevin, can you dance? Come on, give us one. There we go. I'm trying to hit the go button. There we go. We're out of here. Bye-bye.